Hi, my name is Raf. I am playing Grinner, a barbarian human running from his past as an ex-soldier, now turned mercenary.
Hey everyone, I'm Jared. I'm playing the character of Luther. He's a Dampier. He is a fighter that specializes in firearms, a bit of an investigator, and I am the great uncle of Grinner.
Hi, I'm Jacob. I'm playing Tithla, the Goblin Ranger. She is a wonderful hunter and medical genius.
Hi, I'm Haz. I'm playing Theodore Ursa, the Satyr druid, who's a kind of a charismatic druid who's unwillingly taken Tithla under his wing as she's followed him through the forest for the past few months.
G'day, I'm Tom. I'm playing Jonal, the Asimir wizard. He is on the pursuit of good and evil, finding out the best and worst in this world, and he's doing that with a little bit of naivety and optimism.
And I'm Owen, the Dungeon Master of our Curse of Strahd campaign. Hello!
Hello everyone.
Greetings one and all. Welcome back to the Lost Archives. It is wonderful to see all your lovely faces here once again for our Curse of Strahd campaign. We have our full cast here with us tonight. For those of you who are listening on the podcast, you won't notice any differences at all, but for those of you who are watching live or on YouTube, you'll notice that one of the faces is currently greyed out. Jared is here, but he's a bit poorly. Jared, how you feeling, buddy?
No, pretty shit that I'm here, so ready to go.
And that is the Lost Archives commitment. Jared will not have his camera on, and I quote, "No one needs to see my face dripping with mucus." So we'll keep Jared's camera off for tonight, unless of course there's a moment where Luther's face begins dripping with mucus. Then I will ask you to turn your camera on for immersion, if that's okay.
Oh god. Oh my lord. Okay. Yep. Let's go.
I think that sounds fair enough.
But
yeah, Jared is here. You will hear his lovely voice. Once again, joining us from the Roll Together RPG community is our lovely guest character. Well, I should say guest Josh, playing the guest character of Killian.
Yes.
Wait. You're not staying? Oh.
I mean, to be honest, at this stage, a new main cast member, Josh from Roll Together RPG, who is formerly of Roll Together RPG, is now currently of the Lost Archives Curse of Strahd campaign.
Just add that to my title of many things.
Yes, that's it. What would the letters be? It'd be like VCOS, Victim of Curse of Strahd. As like the letters after your name. VCOS, I reckon. Yeah. Or VOCOS. We are going to be jumping straight back into the session very, very soon. Not too many crazy announcements for this week. The only piece of fun, exciting news I have is that in 2 Mondays from now, Monday the 18th, there is a very special 24-hour live stream event going on at Corsair's Cove. It's actually technically going to be running from Sunday the 17th through to Monday the 18th. Josh the Pirate is running a 24-hour charity live stream for Talk Like a Pirate Day. It is going to be excellent. I am going to be helping out. I'm actually going to be running a pirate one-shot on Monday the 18th from 9 a.m. Australian Eastern Standard Time through to about sort of 11:30, 12:30 of that very same day. So it should be lots of fun. There is a link in the Discord if you wanted to come and join. I know spots are filling up fast, not even necessarily with my game. There are lots of different games that are going to be running, loads of really cool, fun adventures to be had. There is one group who are doing a D&D beach episode. So like in Avatar The Last Airbender, how they have a beach episode, they're doing like a D&D style beach episode. That sounds like it's going to be buckets of fun. My pirate-themed one-shot, I'm not going to say too much about it, but it is going to be like high seas, adventure, treasure, booty, plunder, and lots of rum. Josh is looking at me rather concerned.
like rum and booty plundering.
Rum.
Both me and Haz had the exact same look on our face at the exact same time.
Look, if there's one thing pirates are known for, it's plundering booty and rumming away afterwards. Wait, did I say that right? Yeah, that
The old
sounds
smash and dash pirate style.
So, it's going to be a fantastic one shot. Yeah, I'm going to be running it in D&D. We'll be using 5th edition D&D, but I'll release some more information about that as we get closer to the date. But yeah, stay tuned for that. It'll be over at twitch.tv/Corsairs Cove. I'm asking Josh if we can have permission to keep a recorded video of it to chuck up on YouTube or as a podcast as like a special episode. I think that'd be lots of fun. I can't imagine Josh saying no. Not this Josh the pirate Josh. This Josh says yes. That's all the permission I need. Thanks, Josh. I'll tell the other Josh that you said yes and we're good to go. Excellent.
Josh is just a hive mind out in the world.
Josh is a hive mind. Yeah, all Joshes share a consciousness, right?
We're all interlinked and connected and share the same awesomeness.
Quantum Joshed. So
Council of Joshes.
Council of Joshes. Oh man. The Council of Owens is really sad. There's just 3 of us, and one of us spells our name wrong, so it's really awkward.
And none of them want to be in charge.
No, absolutely not. So yeah, stay tuned for the pirate themed one shot. That's going to be loads of fun, and make sure you go check out twitch.tv/Corsairs Cove so that you can watch a number of the fun, exciting adventures that are going to be going down on that 24-hour live stream event. That's it for announcements. The only other thing I probably will say, given that we just talked a little bit about pirates, is anyone here a fan of One Piece? And have you seen any of the new Netflix One Piece series? Yeah.
I've watched 2.
Yeah. What do you think of it?
Good reviews.
I went in cautiously optimistic. I was trying my best to stay a little bit... I wanted to keep my expectations low to mediocre. Or mediocre to low, I guess. I have to say, I've actually enjoyed it quite a bit so far. Like, it's not incredible, but it's pretty fun. I guess going in with like medium expectations was a good call. Like,
yeah, I was talking to my brother yesterday who watched a lot of One Piece anime. I haven't seen this personally. He really enjoyed it. He said they did a great job. The casting's good. The
casting is incredible.
It's great fun. Yeah,
the casting's awesome. The set design is really good. The music's fantastic. I think the casting particularly is really good. I think for me, the thing that's kind of been the most interesting is that it can't make up its mind whether or not it's a kid's show or an adult show. There's one scene where a dude gets cut in half, like genuinely cut in half, and then the next scene they're like playing around with the whole like fun-filled adventure side of things. So it is quite hilarious. Like, yeah.
Welcome to the West tries anime. Like,
yeah, that's the thing, right? Like, there's some things you can get away with in cartoons that I don't think you can necessarily get away with as easily in live action. So one of the things that I think I've noticed about this is I think it's trying to kind of toe the line for the generation who grew up watching the One Piece anime, who are now all adults. But then they also still want to appeal to a new base of fans. And so what they've done is they've kind of really lent into the violence of One Piece and translated it to real life, to live action, which
is a bit more grim.
Yeah, it's like it was genuinely quite hilarious. Like, I wasn't expecting it, and you literally see this dude get cut in half, and then the next scene, Zoro walks in carrying this man's torso in a sack and sits him at a bar. I was like, what? It was great. It was awesome. I do recommend it. I was cautiously optimistic, but I have to say I've enjoyed it. It's been good. And I'm also really excited for Wheel of Time Season 2 because I'm a big Wheel of Time fan. Robert Jordan and obviously Brandon Sanderson took over the later books, so I've been very much enjoying that as well. And that's my pop culture fun adventures. Obviously Starfield's out for those of you who got early access. Congratulations to you, you've got a big wallet, well done. The rest of us, we couldn't afford it. we bought regular Starfield or pirated it, probably.
Actually, yeah, that's... Speaking of piracy,
yeah. It's a good link.
I sail the 7 seas on talk like a pirate day.
Yeah, every time you mention pirating Starfield, Todd Howard does lose 50% of his ability to correct bugs in the next Bethesda game. So just keep that in mind.
That's 35 years away, so it's fine.
Yeah, that's a good point. Yeah, it's the next Elder Scrolls they're doing next out, isn't it?
Yeah, they're now doing pre-production.
They've just started.
Yeah,
they announced that they had
5 years ago.
Yeah.
All right, cool. Well, my kids will be playing that probably, so that'll be fun.
Yeah.
Actually, in Raf's case, literally his child will be playing that game.
I worked out that she'll be 12 at least when it comes out.
That's prime Bethesda.
That's perfect.
When's it supposed to be coming out?
About 7 years.
Yeah.
Oh God, my eldest will be nearly 20.
Oh my
He's almost
god.
wall.
Not in between two. Shit.
Oh my
Jesus.
Yeah, that's horrifying on so many levels. Oh my goodness. He could be working for Bethesda at that stage.
I reckon so.
Oh.
That'd be nuts.
Why
They'll
does
probably
it
still
hurt
be.
so
They'll probably
much?
be on strike or something.
Yeah.
Yeah, probably. They'll have AI to write Bethesda games after that point.
Is that the strategy? Just like have children and get them employed at Bethesda to try and get Elder Scrolls 6 faster? Like is that
Hey.
is that where we're at this point?
I need to call my girlfriend. I'll let her know.
Yeah. Alice. All right,
Let's
we should probably
program.
jump. We should probably
Done.
jump. You should jump into the stream. Let me quickly do a recap of the previous session, and we will jump straight back in. A new team of the Tempest Adventuring Guild have found themselves lost in the dangerous realm of Barovia. Trapped by strange magics, the group have now travelled westward, away from the sinister castle which reportedly houses the immortal ruler of these lands. Having teamed up with another adventurer, Killian, the team have found themselves key architects in a coup. After spending a day preparing, some through recruitment of guards, others through the removal of key targets, the time of the bloodless coup, quote unquote, has arrived. With the town all gathered in the square for the Festival of the Blazing Sun, the team took their positions. When the Baron called for the prisoners on the pyre to be burned, Amelia refused, triggering Jonor to signal the start of the plan. While Theo in wolf form and Tithla riding on his back raced out of town with the guards hot on their heels, Grinna and Luther turned on the Baron. However, it appeared the plan was not to go off without a hitch. While Jonor hovered above the crowd, his ASMR wings on full display, a dark shape dropped from the dark skies, crushing him into the ground. The attacker revealed itself as a vampire, a particularly angry one in the form of a young elven man, furious for the death of his lover at the hands of some unknown attackers. Killian immediately revealed himself as one of the ones responsible for this vampire's death, hoping to distract this attacker long enough for the now panicking townsfolk to escape. And hey, this plan worked really, really well. Too well, as the vampire turned his full attention on Killian and attempted to murder him. With the rest of the group having dealt with the Baron and now rushing to save Killian from certain death, last session saw an intense battle between the vampire Aramis and the team. With Killian, Grinna and Theo all engaged in melee combat with Aramis, Tithla, Jonor and Luther were free to unleash their magic and ranged attacks from afar, dealing some heavy blows to the vampire. Faced with these overwhelming odds, Aramis summoned a pack of wolves which appeared to have been attacking the townsfolk fleeing down the nearby alleyways before he dissolved into mist. Grinna, after attempting to breathe in this assailant in mist form, accompanied by Theo, I should add, decided to chase after the mist, isolating himself from the rest of the party who were dealing with the wolves. Goaded by Grinna's taunts about the female vampire spawn the team had slain earlier, Aramis attacked Grinna, severely injuring him. Just in time, the rest of the group arrived, Jonor having been badly mauled by the wolves, to rescue Grinna. The combined might proved too much, and we left off last session as Theo tore Aramis's throat out, the vampire falling apart into dark ash, a soundless scream etched across his face, mouth agape as that dark ash begins to move up, and his body collapses and falls to the ground. That is where we left off last session. We jump straight back in as you all stand around this section of Town Square just below the main stage. You can see the now empty clothing, nobleman's clothing, stained with dark patches of dried and semi-dried blood, both from his attack on Killian and Grinna. The empty clothes scattered in the center between all of you, ash spilling out from the sleeves, from the cuffs. As you look around, sounds of the town begin to rush back. In the heat of battle, your focus had been solely on taking out this vampire as quickly as possible. But with the vampire now defeated, silence once again reigning, you can hear the quiet sounds of sobbing, screams coming from elsewhere in the town. Occasional shouts of what could only be described as raw grief, and the ringing of the church bell, calling out like a clarion call, a summons for safety and sanctuary. hand over to all of you.
I very quickly morph back into not a human, but goat man.
Head back into satyr form.
Yeah.
As you stand up back onto two legs once again, Theo, your form shifting and changing, the fur receding back in. The lower section of your jaw in bear form, stained with blood, still translates to your satyr form. And as you sort of stand up and shift your shoulders, twin blood trails, a dark stain across your lower chin mark where you had torn his throat out. Although I should say, actually, as time goes on, in metal, as time goes on, you can see even the blood from this vampire is slowly turning into ash, starting to fall from your mouth, or fall from your clothing.
Dust myself off.
In a
Puff
very
out a
literal
little,
sense.
little ash cloud. Pretend I'm Grinner for a second.
Yeah. Actually, both Theo and Grinner, as the vampire dissolves into dust, both of you find yourselves sort of coughing and spluttering as you cough up a few flakes of ash from when you tried to breathe in the vampire previously.
I know that I've been stabilized, but I'm pretty sure I'm still KO'd.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, that's
I'll slap a proper cure wounds into you, not a.
Oof.
As you kneel down
Now
over...
that I'm back and castable.
Yeah. 11 hit points, that's not bad.
Yeah,
Grinner,
that's
you come awake suddenly. Theo kind of kneeling above you, hand on your chest, the last glow of this healing magic, this soft green and golden light slowly fading away from between his fingers as warmth spreads through you. Grinner, in the brief moments you had been down, you remember what you saw, the empty void and the two children, the ghosts of Rose and Thorn, appearing, comforting you, before you come awake again. For a brief moment, those of you standing around Grinner, as he sits up, there's this faint after image, a sort of blue see-through sheen as he sits up, slowly stabilizes, that just lasts for a few seconds behind him, almost like a trail, a coma of light blue light that he leaves behind as he sits up rapidly.
Those are some filthy-looking bite wounds on your neck there, Grinner.
Dude, we got him.
Yes, we killed him good.
Yeah, lying on the ground next to you, Grinner, is clothing filled with ash that you recognize as the clothing of the vampire.
I tore his throat out in vengeance.
Yeah, good. Yeah. All right. Where's old mate? Where's that fucking whatever he was? The bloke who runs the shop.
Baron?
Yeah, that one.
He seems to have buggered off.
Who you buggered off?
Him and Amelia have they're gone.
Oh, fuck. I'm gonna stand up and try to stumble run.
Yeah,
I help him up so he doesn't tumble over.
With that, actually, I'm holding my neck as well because I also have a bite wound.
Yeah.
I'm going to start going towards the alleyway where we were last seen.
Yeah. As you move down the alleyway, the two of you looking out, both of you, I think your passive perceptions are above a 12, so you both would see this.
Yep.
I'm pretty sure they both are. As
Mine
you look
is.
down
Mine's a 16.
Yeah, easy peasy. As you look down the alleyway, you can see what looks to be a few droplets of blood marking a pathway heading down towards the south, passing through between some of the buildings, along and then down towards where you know the Baron's manor house to be.
I'm definitely stumbling that direction.
Yeah, I'm going to start stumble running that way for sure.
I would like to follow and try and catch up with Luther because I kind of need to have a little chat with him.
What do you need?
Is everyone sort of stumbling after? I'd say that at this stage, you can still hear the occasional cries from inside the town, still overshadowed by the ringing of the bell. This dong, dong, echoing.
I think Luther's thoughts is that the priest will help the townsfolk as much as we can. Can. We have to leave that to him because we have to finish this off with the Baron.
Yeah, him and his mark got this covered.
Tithla takes a quick second to climb up to a moderately high spot, or just above everyone, to get a lay of the land to see if there's anything else coming up to attack, or just a quick paranoid look around. Let's double check, make sure there's no other foes around.
Awesome. Do you want to make me a perception or survival check?
I would love to make a perception and or survival check.
Not and?
That's
or?
an 11.
11. Tithla, as you look out across, I'd say probably you scamper up onto the platform that was in the center of the town square, looking around. The lifeless bodies of the wolves that you and your companions slayed lie still in very small pools of blood scattered around the town square. In the very center of the town square, the body of the woman in the light blue dress that Aramis had, whose neck Aramis had snapped while trying to get to Jonor, still just lies there, lifeless, in the center of the town, slumped up near the fountain. There doesn't seem to be anything else moving from what you can see. As you stare out across the town square, it seems deserted and empty. But I mean, at this point, you're sort of wiping a bit of ash from your eyes, still a bit like catching your breath. You're not sure if you would see anything right now anyway. I'd say 11's enough to know that you don't see anything, but you know that you might have missed something.
That's fine. Cool. Thank you.
No problem.
Jonah's going to have a dig into the clothing of the vampire, looking for any insignias, anything to get more info on who he was, where he's come from.
Yeah, Jonah.
That sort of stuff.
Do you want to roll me an investigation check, please? 19. Very nice. Jonah, as you begin digging through the vampire's pockets, you quickly discover a small pouch sewn into the lining of his pants, hidden away, kept sort of secreted in the lining of his pants. In his pockets, he doesn't have much. There looks to be some sort of locket made of a dark iron that you've not, really recognized what the locket's for. As you try to open it up, it's sealed shut. You're unable to open this locket. There's also a few gold coins, a few silver coins, not much else of note, but inside this bag, as you pull it open and lift it out and then open the drawstrings, in the very center, you find two items of particular interest. One is a red and black disc-shaped object, softly glowing with a soft red light, a dark crimson. And as soon as you touch it, in your mind you hear pained screams, a voice calling out in great pain. And as you lift this item up, the scream initially from that first shock fades away right back until you can just hear it at the edge of your hearing. And as you look at this coin, you can almost see what looks to be a face inscribed upon the surface. Jonor, given that your specific area of interest in academics was good and evil, and you have studied both celestials and devils and demons, I'm going to say you don't even need to roll to know what this is. You're holding a soul coin. This is an item used in the 9 hells as almost essentially as a form of bartering. You would know from your studies that there are machines, infernal engines in the hells powered by these. This is raw energy, a soul trapped in a physical object. These are used by demons and devils as part of trades and bartering. This is the currency of the hells. I should say not so much demons, more devils. I shouldn't be saying both of them. It's specifically more devils than it is demons. Demons don't have much time for making deals and trades. That's more of a devil's kind of purview. The other item that you lift out of this bag, Jonah, looks to be some sort of signet ring. It's clearly made of silver, and as you look across its surface, it's marked with an emblem that looks almost like a dragon's face, embedded and embossed into the top of this silver signet ring. And with your investigation of 19, as you peer it around and begin looking over the surface of it, you can see that there is a word inscribed upon the band. Argon Vostholt. I'll put it in chat so you've got it written down.
I think as he grabs that first coin, he would have known about these soul coins before, but he's never obviously had any experience with them before. He'll be rattling through the things and pulls the coins out. I think he's just going to freeze in place, like really obviously in front of everyone. That's what happens.
I actually mispronounced that slightly. It is Arginvostholt. Arginvostholt. Thank you, Wizards of the Coast, for making yet more unpronounceable names in Draconic.
Oh, and this is your world. How you pronounce it is how it is.
It's Draconic, you say?
Yeah. I believe it's pronounced Draconic. Arginvostholt. Arginvostholt.
Do I have any idea what that ring does?
It looks like a signet ring. Signet rings are normally used to seal wax on letters or scrolls to help. Yeah, no, all good. It is not an item that has been used in our society for the last 200 years, so there is no expectation for you to instantly know what that is, Tom. That is, there is no reason why we would need to know what this is. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, it looks to be some sort of signet ring. You can see that the dragon face is deliberately designed. As I said, it's embossed. So if you were to press this into wax, you would be left with a 3D wax sculpture of a dragon's head coming out of the wax, because it's actually the sculpture of the dragon is in negative, so it's pushed into the ring, so that when you press it into wax, you'll be left with this
3D depiction.
Yeah, 3D image of a dragon's face carved in wax. Pretty sick.
We've got Grinna and Killian around. As I hold this coin, boys, have you seen this one before? This is a soul coin. This has got, I hold it up in like amazement. This has got someone's soul in it. I show it to Grinner and Killian.
So Grinner's actually limping off, trying to head towards the alleyway to see where the fuck old mate's gone. So he's not there. Enough. But
Theo would probably go likewise.
Oh, I just share with whoever's nearby. I think that's Killian.
I think it's just Killian. I think it's just Killian.
Oh no, poor Jonah.
Yeah, Jonah, as you hold it up, you sort of turn around. Like I like the idea of Jonah like looking at this thing as he's going through the vampire's pockets and like says, "Oh guys, like look at this, look what I found." And then he looks up and there's just Killian there, who's like kind of like looking down the alley where the rest of them go and looking at Jonah, kind of like, "Are you coming?" Or are you done rifling through the vampire's pockets? You were hanging around his crotch area for a while there. What have you found?
Nothing like crotch dust. The foreskin is particularly crumbly.
Oh my god. Moving on. I regret opening that door.
Off.
Yes, dust yourself off. Please, keep going, Tom. Let's go.
I show the coin and make that statement to Killian.
Yeah.
If there's anything, he would react to that.
Do I know anything about soul coins?
Yeah, it's a good question, Killian. I would say probably you would, like, you might not recognize them just from appearance, but you would have heard of soul coins before. I'd say that, especially given your background and the source of your magics, probably you've encountered or heard stories of people trading their lives away to devils in bargains before, and their souls being forfeit. As Jonor says, soul coin, this is a person's soul trapped in here. That does ring a vague bell. Do you want to make me a history or arcana check, though, to see if you know any more?
I will go for arcana.
Brilliant.
That is an 18.
18. Yeah, as you think a bit deeper, yeah, I mean, in your home plane, there are tales told amongst those who fight devils and demons, amongst clerics and paladins, of the evils of these creatures, and that devils can trap a human soul inside of a coin, and that they use this to barter and to trade. It's an abomination. It's a travesty. You've heard of soul coins before. What you do know of them with your Arcana of 18, what you've heard is that, yeah, it's a human soul, or I shouldn't say specifically human, it's a humanoid soul trapped in there, a conscious sentient being, and they are in pain. It is a painful existence to be a soul coin. It is an eternity of pain. And those that are used as fuel you can hear the screams of the soul whenever one of those infernal engines is powered.
They are not good. Mortal souls trapped within coins is in our own singular prison is a horrible thing. It's just something that no person should ever have to experience. There is a way to extract the soul and send it on its way, then that would be a kindness.
Whoever did it, so he ended up with the coin here, so either he's taken the coin from another place or someone nearby can do this. So I think we'll keep our eyes out.
Tom, you may add a soul coin to your inventory. This is a legitimate magical item in D&D Beyond, and there are things that you can do with this. You may add this to your inventory.
Spend it.
Cool. All right, well, if that's it, I think we would then catch up with the rest of the group.
Perfect. As you hurry to catch up with the rest of the party, Grinner sort of like taking up the trail, unable to walk very quickly due to his grievous injuries, while Tithla, Theo, and Luther begin heading to the front. Theo, did you want to? Yeah, you wanted to ask Luther some stuff, right?
I would help Grinner hobble along first. I healed him up that far. I'll act as a goat crutch for him.
I'm going to call out to everyone as well, because it suddenly occurs to Grinner not everyone was up on the stage. He's not people. I don't know what the fuck he is, but he's not people.
Mr. Grinner, I'm also not really people.
No, mate, he's not. I bashed his fucking head in and he got better. He's not.
I just made you better from getting your head bitten off by a
you hear a bit further ahead, Luther sort of go, so he bled black blood. That was peculiar to say the least. He had a grievous neck injury and healed it completely in the matter of seconds. Like further, a bit ahead.
Oh, well, yeah, I grab Grinner and hobble up to Luther at that point. Speaking of holes in the neck, Luther, I could not help but overhear what that vampire was saying.
It's Marty, you can't really trust vampires. They're monsters pretty much, I guess. So we got more pressing matters though right now.
I'm sure they're not all bad.
I totally agree with that sentiment, but we got more pressing matters as I'm clearly sort of trying to avoid the question.
I do like that in times of trouble, when Mother Mary comes to Jared, speaking words of wisdom, she says, "Gaslight the fuckers hard."
Okay, can I roll for gaslight?
You can make an insight check, of course you can. I will get you to roll a persuasion check or a deception check, Luther, because you haven't lied, so I'm happy to let you pick which one you want to roll, because it's not a deception per se.
They're both like one.
Bro.
I'm not deceiving him per se.
No, exactly.
Because lies, I'll do persuasion.
Yeah.
I'm just sort of
convince me to think about something else.
I think Luther's sort of thinking at the moment is like, there's more pressing matters ahead. We can deal with this a bit later.
Yeah, it's not an outright lie. That's a 1. Theo. It's not that Luther does a particularly bad job defending himself per se. I mean, it's pretty obvious he's deflecting. As you look at him, his body language kind of gives it away quite quickly. He immediately begins to look anywhere but your eyes. As he reaches up, he sort of moves his collar to try and hide the bite wounds on his neck, immediately acting a little bit suspicious. But
actually,
I will say... Oh, sorry, you go.
That's probably a good... I was going to say that's probably a good observation. Now that I'm like holding my neck and then moving it every now and again to sort of free it up, the collar's not really there. You can probably see like an older set of bite wounds.
Yeah.
Look, if you don't want to talk about it, that's fine. I just need to know that we can trust you.
I'll look him in the eye, sort of look at everyone else real quick. You know, you've been traveling with me for so long, nothing's come about in that history, so you're fine for now. Like, no, you're fine 100%.
I mean, Yes, but secrets can be damaging. So I will trust you, and we do have more pressing matters for the moment. You are correct, but
He'll look at you real
I think
quick.
we are owed an explanation.
He'll look at you real quick. I think he sort of like thinks about like all the traveling you've done together now. He probably realizes that the time is sort of coming, so he looks at you and goes, once all this is settled, I will divulge everything.
Oh, that's good enough for Theo. I nod and continue helping Grinner along and following this trail.
I'm gonna just limping along, side-eye Theo, and just kind of mutter, "What the fuck are you talking about?"
Stroke it. It is okay, Mr. Grinner. It is fine. Do not worry.
Well, I'm not fucking worried. Why are you having a go at Luther?
I'm not having a go. It is
It's all good, Archibald. Don't worry about it. Yeah, I called you by your first name. I remember your first name.
Your name is. I did look at that. Hang on. Just, these revelations. Your name is Archibald.
Yeah, well, obviously I don't go by that no more, but yeah.
Wait, can we call you Archie?
Oh, no, mate. Look, it's Grinner. It's always been Grinner. It's always gotta be. Look, why'd you have to go?
Wait, we have more things to do.
Just distract you with your secret from someone else.
Good misdirect.
Luther, that's we.
Nothing to be ashamed of. It's part of your family heritage.
Well, yeah, that might be, but
How do you
I
know?
don't remember talking to you about that.
I just start looking everywhere else, but everyone else's eyes.
Can I quick question? Are we meant to be doing something other than talking about family names?
I'm assuming you're still walking.
Yeah.
We're walking.
I know,
we're
but
running. We're jogging. I don't know what we're doing, but we're
It just
making our
feels a
way
bit
there.
tense to be talking about little Archie.
Oh god, we're gonna run with that one. Is,
Yeah,
is the
Jacob,
trial
you've rolled
pretty
up
easy
a
to
new
follow?
character, right? Just in case.
Smiler.
Oh, God.
Yes, my friend.
I'm assuming that you're next to Grinner at this stage, Tifler. Is that
100%. 100%.
He's gonna like lean on your shoulder with his hand, like arm fully extended downwards, leaning on you, as well as on Theo.
Ow.
And I'm gonna just kind of, obviously we can't stop moving at this point, but he's gonna lean down as best he can and say, "Look, that's a family first name that has gone back for a couple of generations, and it is not something that I want to be called."
I start sweating even more.
Oh, okay. I'm sorry. I didn't realize that you didn't want to be called that. Okay. Thanks for letting me know, Grinner.
You did realise that by the fact that I've been gone by Grinner for at least 2 decades, mate.
Well, I did. Well, I haven't known you that long. I've only known you for like 6 days. So maybe it was a newer thing.
Grinner just does not have the physical or mental capacity to deal with that right now.
As Grinner thinks about it, he coughs up a bit more blood onto the sidewalk.
Is it Grinner that doesn't have that in him right now, or Raph?
Bit of column A, bit of column B.
Yeah.
That's pretty perfect timing, actually. As you sort of are joking and laughing about this, as you come around the corner back onto the main road that leads from the southeastern gate into the town, you see the body of one of the guards slumped over in the middle of the road, almost kneeling in place, head bowed, looking down at something on the cobblestones in front of you.
Oh, fuck that. Better not be Amelia. I'm going to hobble jog up to it.
As you put your hand on the shoulder, the body slumps forwards, cracking into the cobblestones, and you can see the throat has been cut deeply, all the way through, single line right from underneath the left ear all the way through to the right. Blood has dried down the front of the guard. Sorry, I should say the blood is just starting to dry down the front of the guard's stomach.
Is this the guard that I asked to restrain the Baron?
As you have a closer look, Luther, you do recognize this as one of the guards from the stage.
Damn it. Oh, that sucks.
All right, we got to hurry up. This is not going the way that any of us wanted it to. We got it. Oh, shit. All right. This is going to hurt, but it's jogging time, you lot.
Looks like we may actually have to kill the Baron.
Well, yeah, if anyone had listened to me from the get-go, I would have said that was the proper way to go about this. But
To be honest, we were assuming that the Baron was a human, not whatever creature that he is.
well, let's go stop him from being anything, eh?
I think we've still done the right thing.
As you
Along
jog
the
on
way.
a little bit further, Tithla, your keen senses and tracking spot a glint of metal on the side of the pathway. There is what appears to be chained manacles with a severed hand still inside one of the manacle rings.
Everybody, my keen senses have noticed a glint. There appear to be some chain manacles with a severed hand. It's disgusting.
Thank goodness Jacob's here to play Tithla, because heaven forbid we have any degree of like tension building occur. It is not immediately undercut by that fucking voice.
Is it a left hand or a right hand?
And Tithla holds up the Eleanor with her hands. She does the two L's to try and work out which is the left and right.
Left hand. On the second and third fingers are what look to be two very beautifully made expensive rings. Gold and one with a sapphire, one with a ruby embedded in the top. They'd be worth a fair bit of money.
She doesn't even like notice the ring. She just goes, it's this one, and just holds up the hand.
Left hand.
Is there any black blood around it?
Yeah. Killian, as soon as you look closely, you can see that there is this thick, dark, congealed blood. The hand should be... I mean, at this stage, you wouldn't expect it to be bleeding at all. The blood should have drained out fully. As you pick it up, it's still slightly warm to the touch. And as you hold it up to look at that, or as Tithla holds it up, small line of black, almost mucus thick, begins to drip down out of one of the veins.
I've been around an upsetting amount of severed limbs. Can I roll for what cut this off?
It's an interesting interesting point about Grinner's character. I guess this would be a medicine check or survival. I'm going to rule for Grinner. When you say you've been around severed limbs, what Grinner is saying is that he has been on a number of battlefields as a mercenary and has seen pretty bad injuries before.
That is correct.
Not that he has collected severed limbs. That's a 9, Grinner. As you look at this, the edges are jagged and... I mean, it could have been done by some... maybe like a saber or a knife, but whatever it wasn't very sharp. I mean, you can see sections where it's torn, and weirdly enough, the edge of the manacle is really covered in blood right at the very top, and you can see where part of the thumb has been a bit torn off with some of the skin, but maybe the person hacking it off was impatient or had to be quick. But yeah, whoever did this wasn't using something sharp. And
has this gone through the forearm bones, or is this through the wrist joint?
It looks like that's a great question. Would Grinner think of that question? Because that's a very Raph question. I guess Grinner might.
Grinner's seen a lot of battle wounds.
Yeah, he knows.
No, say it properly. Grinner's seen a lot of severed limbs.
Sorry,
He's been around a lot of severed limbs.
He's been around them.
He's caused a lot of.
Yeah, that
I will say
a lot of limbs.
The massive shards of the radius and ulna do not appear to be present. Not that Grinner would know of that. Grinner, there's no chicken wings inside. As you look closely, the long stringy bones. You know, there's two long bones that are quite thin in the arm, the forearm. They're not there. There's these like jagged sections and what looks to be this weird white pussy stuff deep inside. If you were a medical man, you might know that that's part of the joint that's been left over, but Grinner's not. So he just sees the sort of white pussy stuff inside.
Lumpy boys.
Yeah, lumpy bits.
Cool. Well, shit. Alright, is there a blood trail from that hand?
What's interesting, the blood trail that you'd been following this time had been splotches of red blood, fresh red blood. This dark black ichor, there is indeed a separate trail, one that seems to lead far less frequently than what it should be for a severed limb. I mean, this should be gushing with blood. Even if it was tourniqueted, there should be a very clear trail of blood spatters leading away. There's just the occasional drop of this black, dark ichor leading directly up the steps and to the door of the Baron's house. In fact, you can see a bloody handprint, both red and black mixed together, pushed against the door, which is hanging very slowly, opening and closing slightly on its hinges with this low creak.
So the other blood trail,
Yeah.
you mentioned we were following the
leads
red.
to this
Does it
kneeling
go elsewhere?
figure. Doesn't seem to go
Right,
anywhere.
okay,
Seems to
okay,
stop at the kneeling figure.
Okay. Well, any thoughts on this, you lot? Otherwise, I'm just going straight in there.
Before you go, Grinner.
Eh?
And Tithla puts up a hand and casts Cure Wounds at a second level too.
Ooh, nice.
This shit is not looking good.
Show me up, man. Come on.
That's what I'm here for. Oh, that's a good roll. 14.
Oh,
14.
fuck yeah.
How's Jonah looking?
He's okay. Okay.
Okay.
Okay then.
Okay. I was worried for a second there, but if he's okay, that's all good.
Is anyone else looking super messed up? Cool.
No, pretty
Doesn't
good. I
sound
have
like
full
it.
HP at 28 because I've got my HP maximum reduced, so fun.
Yeah.
But Matt,
I look drained, but other than that, I am at peak health. I say as I pick the hand up and pocket it. Anybody who has a high passive perception, I might try to see if it fits on my stump. This is like a good match, and I'll be like, I could use this later, and I'll put it away.
I'm gonna get a... What would this be? I guess
Religion.
this would be a perception or investigation check, Killian, as you pick up the hand and try to pocket it.
Perception is 15.
For a second, Killian, you could have sworn you felt the hand move as you tried to stuff it into your bag. Just for a second. Could have sworn you felt it just shift slightly. Maybe spasms, but...
I could have sworn I felt it move. It might have just been from where I tried to put it in my pocket, or you know how a chicken can still run around for like 4 or 5 seconds after its head has been cut off. It could have been that. I do not know. But I'm
Yeah.
still going to put it in my pocket.
Can I have it back? I want to
You
try
can have
something.
it back. Yes.
Tithla wants to... So, this is the Baron's hand, yeah? That's what
Yeah.
we've worked out.
You suspect so.
Assuming so, great. Tithla wants to, if it's then moving, try and move her hunter's mark
Oh.
to the Baron.
Oh, Tithla. Fucking clever. Yes. I'm going to rule...
It's up to
Actually,
you.
let me-
I know that one's a bit bullshit, so
No.
I
It's not
understand.
necessarily. Let me just quickly read the specifics of Hunter's Mark. You choose a creature you can see within range and mystically mark it as your quarry. Do you know what? And how long does it last for? Up to an hour. Yeah. You
An
can
hour.
totally move it. Oh, so here's the rule. If this was a severed limb off a creature, just any creature, just off a normal
Yep.
creature if it had been severed, this would not work. And Tithla,
Of
you
course.
trying this, you know that this shouldn't work.
And that's why she
But
didn't
it-
try it at the start, because of course it wouldn't work. It's
Yeah.
a severed limb. The hand itself is dead, so there's nothing there, right?
But the magic takes, and for a brief second, you feel the connection.
As she's then holding the hand, she the hand's still alive. It's his hand, but it's still alive. Yeah, he's not
Oh,
normal.
Well, I fucking said that.
He's not normal.
Well, I fucking said that. 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 Well, I fuc
Well, do you want to hold the still alive hand?
No. Look, just whatever you did, pinpoint where he's gone.
Well, I sort of have a vibe. Yeah, I can probably find him a bit better.
Well, look, my worry is that he's gone inside and he's found himself something to heal himself with.
He might have.
Yeah, and we've been standing around out here. I think, look, if I go in and start a distraction, we don't have time for a fucking plan. I'm going to run through the door.
Wait, no, don't.
Yes.
No, I think it's a good idea. I think we'll be behind Grinner this time.
Brilliant. Grinner, as you rush through the door, smashing
Before
it.
you explain what happens, I just want to say,
Yeah.
I had this great idea. You know how you can have the stick that you use to find water?
Yeah, like a
Define
dowsing rod. Yeah.
Yeah. I was going to use that with the hand to help.
I mean, I'm
track
sorry to
where
cut you
you're
off.
going.
I'm sorry to cut you off, Jacob, but Grinner's had a better idea, which is
Yeah.
Leroy Jenkins. As Grinner slams open the door and rushes in, the first thing that greets you, Grinner, is the sight of a body on the floor. Dressed in the guard's uniform, breastplate, helmet, scattered away, is Amelia, lying still at the bottom of the stairs. Inside, the manor is in a state. You can see that there are sections of the stairwell itself that have been shattered. Amelia's sword has in fact broken. The tip has chipped off, and you can see that part of the scabbard as well looks like it has been split, as if it has smashed into something very heavy or very hard and cracked down the middle. Her shield splintered in two, one half embedded into the back of the front door, the other half still strapped to her wrist and her forearm. As you smash in the door, the rest of the room, just as you quickly look around in this moment of panic, seems empty, but you hear the sound of footsteps thumping upstairs. There's like dun, 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 as if someone's walking with a very odd, strange gait, and the occasional sound of something scraping against the wooden floor above.
Okay.
His wife and son are here.
As everyone's doing this, I will quickly start checking Amelia's signs to see if she has any signs of life.
Yeah, could I get a quick medicine check, please, Luther?
And seeing that in hand, I'm going to start sprinting up the stairs.
Nah, I'm not very good at it. I look at I probably would actually look at Tifla, who's the resident medicine person. No, I'm too flustered. I can't really find anything. Tifla, can you have a quick look? If that's all right.
Of course.
I kind of like the idea of some of the blood around her, on her clothing, around her hands. Luther, I mean, you've drunk blood fairly recently. The hunger is still there a little bit for you. And as you lean in to check on Amelia, you feel that sudden rush of hunger once again. You sort of have to stand up quickly. The twin feeling of hunger and nausea fighting for dominance in your mind.
I think Tithel then subconsciously just pushes you away a little bit, not because of who you are, just for her to get access.
Yeah, of course.
And she'll go in and do a medicine check.
Yeah, give us a medicine check, Tifla. A good one, hey?
18.
Amelia is alive. She has suffered a pretty brutal blow to her stomach that, unless treated, will probably kill her in a few days.
I cast Cure Wounds, second level.
Okay. All right. I was going to use my... Nice. All right, yep, cool, that's fine. Yep, perfect.
That's my last spell.
As you place your hands upon her stomach, sort of rolling her over, her head lolling back, you can see that she has numerous broken bones. The arm that held the shield, part of the upper arm is just splintered. There are sections where the bone is coming through, pushing through the skin. But as you focus and concentrate, that golden light filling you, and you push against the wound, you watch as sections of her stomach begin to knit back together, and you hear this as she begins coughing up a little bit of black blood.
So Tithel was chewing up, different weeds and roots and applying them and starting to wrap them, and through that transferred the healing energies.
As her eyes sort of flutter open, still just maintaining consciousness, she looks up. Tithla? You need to get upstairs. He's up there. He's got them. He's got them both.
Who's he got?
The wife and the son. He's got them both.
All right, we'll get him. What do you know about him? Quick, what's his weakness?
I don't know. Not swords. As she looks at her
Not
broken sword.
Okay. All right, let's go.
One of my closest childhood friends growing up was named Amelia, and this makes me so happy that she's alive.
Oh, that's good. That's good. I had a little bit of a timer going. If you guys had fucked about for much longer and not gone straight there, she wouldn't have made it.
Grinner's double stepping it up the stairs.
Josh, what were you going to say, sorry?
I was just going to say the black blood that she's coughed up.
Oh,
is it
sorry, that
similar?
was a misspeak.
Or is it
Yes,
just
sorry.
darkened blood?
That was an Owen
Okay.
misspeak.
Okay.
When you get blood in your lungs, often it oxidizes much quicker, so it looks like a much darker color. I realized as soon as I said it that would be an easy thing to immediately be like, wait a minute, there's a dude with black blood. Hang on. Sorry, that is a misspeak. As she coughs up this dark red blood, but it is still watery. That's my bad. Hello.
Seriously, what kind of a freak knows that? When you get blood in your lungs, it oxidizes quicker and so it goes darker. Who knows that? No one.
Medical school.
Hello. I like to know things that I can use to torment you and give you nightmares.
Nightmares. I'm going to help Tifla, bandage up Amelia while Tifla's casting the spell, just so she's a bit more stable and
perfect.
So it doesn't take as long. Sort of
While
thing.
you guys are doing that, then I'm going to go and back up Grinner, even though we're probably not the best, but I'm going to back up Grinner.
Jonah?
I'm going the stairs.
Perfect. Okay.
All right. Jonah,
so
and
once
us
Amelia
three,
said
us
go,
three, the original three start backing each other up. Nice.
So, the Suicide 2 plus Luther head upstairs. Because you both gone down last session.
Tis also
We'll
gonna
be
be up. I was just
fine.
waiting, doing the heal and
Yeah, and just literally, you'll only be a few seconds behind them.
Yeah.
As Grinner, Luther, and Jonah begin charging up the stairs, you hear a woman's voice call out, "Help!" and then cut off suddenly from at the top of the stairs. As you sprint to the top of the landing, you hear a door slam shut down the hallway, just too late to see who was on the other side of it. This sudden flash of a figure standing partially in darkness before the door slams shut. You hear the sound of a key locking in the latch. Far
I'm
end of the
going to full sprint at it and double leg jump kick, fly kick into the door.
Could I have an athletics check, please? Oh my goodness. If this goes well, mate, this will be great.
Can I give him advantage by doing also pushing into the door but not doing what he's doing, but just doing a regular?
I'd say if Grinner's doing a double leg kick in midair, there's not a lot of room for you to be near the door without being caught up in Grinner's athletics. I would say if you wanted to help him, maybe you kind of run behind, and as he jumps, you kind of push him in the air, you sort of run with him and kind of help almost fling him. Yeah.
I could spider climb on the other wall and then use because it's throwing all my cards out.
Yeah.
Because then I have a better base to push him from. 'cause
Yeah,
I'm
that's
up
a good
against
point.
The wall actually.
Absolutely.
Give him more momentum. It would
I
look
am
really
a
weird.
human javelin.
It looks so weird to journal though, seeing that.
Do peasant railgun, but with Grinner.
Yeah, Grinner railgun. Jono, you watch kind of in surprise taking up the rear here as Grinner just lets out this growl and takes off at a run. Only a few seconds behind him is Luther, who just jumps up onto the ceiling and begins running behind Grinner on the ceiling.
Not the ceiling. I'm going to do the wall.
On the wall,
On
okay.
the opposite wall.
Oh, well, that's less
to the door. Yeah, that's not as insane.
Okay.
Because then I'm using that wall as Grinner's hitting the door to use as a base to thrust him through the door.
Okay. As you thrust Grinner through the entryway,
Okay, I'm going to keep going, am I? All right.
could I please have an athletics check from Grinner? I will give this advantage.
All right, so I've already rolled that once. I'll roll a second time. Oh, nat 20.
I actually can't see them coming through, but I definitely trust you. Are they on the... Oh, have you got is your thing stuck on...
Oh, no. Is it not doing the...
Don't worry about it.
20.
Don't worry about it. It's super
I don't
easy.
see it,
You can see it?
No, I did not.
Oh, okay. That's just me.
Thomas did though.
Oh, there you go. They both come through.
Oh, okay.
Holy shit. 21
Amazing.
and natural 20. With the combined effort of the two of you working together, Grinner just spears towards the door. There's no hint of the door even withstanding this for a second. There's no groan, there's no creak. The door explodes into splinters as Grinner doesn't just shatter through it, he shatters the door itself. Part of the doorway is torn off with him. The hinges stronger than the wood itself as it rips part of the drywall inwards. Grinner shoots into the room, colliding with the person behind the door who had attempted to lock it behind himself. As you slam into this figure, Grinner, you roll and stumble forwards, crashing into the back wall. I will have you take a d4 of damage. That's 1 damage point. Don't even worry about it being a bad thing. Fucking hell, I rolled badly for that. As you take 1 point of damage and smash into the back wall, you hear this underneath you as you smack into this figure, along with a cry of like this gasp of fear beside you. In the room, I'm going to slow everything down now as we head into like a semi-initiative, but not a full initiative. The room itself seems to be some sort of opening up into the attic space above, where I think some of you have already been before. Theo and Jonor have both been into the attic before. And Luther, you've certainly seen into it through the skylight when you were shadowing the two of them. This is the junk room that you had seen in the manor previously. The figure that Grinner collides with is sent careening into a pile of chairs. Grinner himself smashing into what looks to be an old couch covered with a... that's explaining the 1 hit point damage. An old couch covered in a dust sheet as he smacks into that. Standing just on the other side of the door, probably they were being held, looks to be the wife of Baron Vargas, a woman who you've recognized before, but who... every time you've seen her seems thoroughly messed up. With them as well is Victor. Concerningly though, you see a large gash down the side of Victor's face and his upper tunic. One of the sleeves has been completely torn off, a large gash along his upper arm. As Grinner smashes into Baron Vargas and knocks him into this pile of chairs, you see that his left hand is missing, the manacles still around his ankles. The knife that he was holding, the dagger that he was holding, skids across the floor, disappearing behind a pile of junk. As you slowly sort of get yourself up, Grinner, and look back, a huge smile breaks across Victor's face. Pure relief. But the wife of the Baron looks almost frozen in fear, her eyes wide, just mouth partly agape, looking terrified. Jonor, I'm going to say that probably you and Luther have a bit of a chance to act before anything else. Grinner going through the door is a surprising action that no one was expecting. Grinner loses his sort of surprise turn by smashing into a couch on the other side of the door and knocking this dude prone. Jonor and Luther, both of you have a chance to act first. I pass over to the two of you.
What Luther would probably do is, first things first, save the two of them. I would immediately try and usher them out into the alley, in the hallway at least, get them out of harm's way. That's probably what Luther would do. So I'll attempt that.
Yeah. Do you say anything to them while you're doing that?
I'd probably be like, come on now, we're gonna get out of here. This is dangerous. Look, you got wounds, everything. Come on, we need to go now. This is dangerous. This situation. You need to go now.
You watch as Victor starts to nod and then goes, "Oh, I can fix my mother. He's done something to her. I can fix her. We just need to get to my room with all of my equipment and my spell books. I can fix her."
I look at Jonor.
As you start looking at me...
Yeah, that's definitely your realm of expertise.
I hear that conversation going on. I don't listen to them. I'm looking over at the Baron, and I say, I think you should sit down and stand up, and sit down and stand up for the next 3 hours, as I cast suggestion onto the Baron.
Ooh. I suggest you sit down, then stand up repeatedly for the next 3 hours. Yeah, I think that'd work as a suggestion. Because it's a course of action with a time limit. Absolutely. I will roll a wisdom save. DC is 15.
15.
Oh, I'm sorry, Joe, not literally 15.
No chance of disadvantage for that, given that I
Sure did,
just lopped him through the way.
Not with disadvantage for that. If it had been like a dexterity check while he's prone, or a strength save, I'd say probably, but for wisdom, not so much. If anything, probably being knocked prone and being dazed means he doesn't even hear the suggestion properly. If anything, he sort of like stands up. What?
I'm just talking to him. He's not listening to me. I'm not listening to Luther.
I'll respond to Victor real quick. Look, we can deal with all that later. Right now, you need to get to safety. We can handle that later.
Victor sort of like nods, and then you watch as he grabs his mother by the wrist and dashes further into the room, pulling her through the junk, trying to get her to the other side of the room. As he does so,
not what I meant.
As he does so, he calls back, No, trust me. Come with me. Get him to follow us. I have a plan. Trust me.
Am I nearby at this point? Or
yeah, by this point, you're coming to the top of the stairs.
Can I do an insight check on that?
Definitely.
Oh, I scream no.
I scream no. 19. Hey, Luther, he believes he has a plan. He believes he is, like, when he says this, there is a look of hope in his eyes that you don't get the sense could be faked. I mean, this is a boy who, from what you've seen and what you've heard, isn't very confident, isn't very, I would hesitate to say competent. But in this moment, he seems very sure. He seems...
This dude's dead set gonna try and vaporize his dad, hey?
Oh, he seems very hopeful.
And or his mom.
He seems like he has a plan.
Yeah, can I be sprinting in there and doing my goatee mirthful leaps over all this junk to try and get to Victor as fast as humanly possible?
100%. As you basically dash forwards and throw yourself over the top of the prone Baron, dashing up in line with the others, you land on the floor right next to Victor. Victor turns around, like sees you, nods and goes, yes, good. I have a plan. Quickly, come with me. I have a plan, a really good one.
No, absolutely not, Victor.
No, I can fix my mother and get rid of my father at the same time.
We can. You agreed to listen to Professor Jono and I on your schooling of magic, and this is not how to do it. This is your mind is far too heightened to be properly casting magic at this point.
Could I get you to make me a persuasion check, please, Theo?
Come on. Oh, it was just teetering on 20 and then toppled over.
What an asshole digital dice.
Straight tease.
14. For a moment, it looks like he's going to listen to you. And then he shakes his head. No, I could do this. Let me prove myself to you and Professor Jonor.
Is he going to be... I'm sorry, go on.
No. You go.
If I'm in eyesight and if I'm seeing him go to that teleportation circle and I can see him doing that, I want to use a reaction to do something, so just keep that in mind.
I'm happy to, for the purposes of keeping this going, as running to the top of the stairs close behind, I'd say probably at this point Tithla and Killian have just finished helping sort of stabilize Amelia. As the two of you get to the top of the stairs, you watch as Grinner slowly stands up, as does the Baron. As he looks towards you, you can see that his eyes are just pools of inky blackness. Almost what look to be tears leak out from both the nasal and temporal side of each eye, this thick Icarus blood. Big smile still plastered on his face, but dark black scum staining his teeth and lips. As he smiles, he goes, "My darling wife, why would you betray me like this? And my naughty son, you will need to be punished. No guests after 10. And then as he turns towards all of you, time for you to die now, okay? With a big smile on his face.
Tiflin nodded her head. I saw Jacob do that. He's like, yes, that sounds good.
I am going to get all of you to roll initiative, but before you do, let me put you in the correct map. I didn't put you across just in case this wasn't a wasn't a combat situation, but it looks like it is definitely one. So I will.
Oh, with Grinner involved? Hell yeah, it is.
Might not have been.
Straight combat.
Oh, I forgot that it was called Dracob.
Yeah.
It's an unwelcome surprise, to say the least.
A welcome surprise?
Now,
So
I
you
will
misspoke
just update. I'll just update these 2 tokens here, and I'll move you guys all across to this section here. So you'll find your tokens very small for a few seconds. As that happens, please feel free to click on your tokens and roll initiative.
Just before Killian and Tifla came up the stairs, I reckon the pair of us would have moved Amelia to a safer location.
Yeah.
And then I would
Perfect.
summon my familiar, my blood owl, to stand to be like a sentry for her,
Brilliant.
just in case anything tries coming in behind.
Love it.
Keep her
That's
protected.
fantastic. That's awesome.
Is the owl made of blood, or is a blood owl a specific type of owl that you're familiar is?
I think you know the
It's
answer to
made
that
of blood.
question.
I pop the cork and a big gobule of blood comes out and turns into an owl.
Does it stay red, or does it fade to like owl color?
Nope, stays red.
Cool. Metal.
Gross.
I was going to say, I think you knew where that was going. Surely you knew what that was going to be, right? Like,
Blood owl sounds like a perfectly legitimate owl species.
that's fair. That's fair.
Probably is.
I can only see black screen for me. I've made it
Oh.
big, but I
I
can't see.
reloaded.
Oh, okay. I'll just reload.
Yeah, give it a quick reload. You should be able to see. I'm just checking. The vision should be present. Let me know if it's not working. Just realized
Seems to
that-
be working for me.
Reload fixed.
Perfect. That's what I like to hear. Alrighty, brilliant. As you all begin sort of like rushing forwards, let me just quickly position people a little bit better. So Theodore, you were over with Victor. I'll just make it so you can see their token names. Sorry, give me 2 seconds. See that Owen was
Look,
clear.
I don't think I'll be mistaking Victor for his mum with those tokens, though.
That's fair. That's very fair. He doesn't look like a sexy boy, does he?
He looks honestly very spooky. He seems like
does.
the bad guy in the situation.
I don't know what you're talking about. Dracob's right behind you. Tithla. Jonah's just behind Grinner. Grinner's right up with Vargas. Luther's back a little bit. All right, perfect. Brilliant. Okay, so it looks like our initiatives are as follows. Oh,
Sorry, I
no.
haven't rolled initiative yet. Give me a sec.
No, that's all
Baron
okay.
roll is 0 for initiative.
No, it hasn't updated, and I've also got 2 of every person, which is hilarious. So I'll quickly update that as well. So let's quickly go through. So Theo was a 2.
Yep.
That's not super hot, Theo. That's a shame. Grinner was a 5. That's also not
We actually we all rolled really bad.
Oh,
except
really badly.
2.
Killian was a 17. Jonor was a 5. Oh, Jonor.
That's such trash at the initiative.
Luther was an 8. Holy shit. And Tithla was 14. That's not as bad. And I will quickly add Victor as well. I was going to put him at the end, but I think it's better if I put him in the initiative. Oh, just caught that sneezing time.
So bad.
I'm so allergic to that. Oh wow, I didn't roll as badly for them. All right, so first off the bat is Baron Vargas. He uses half his movement to slowly stand up Grinner. As he sort of turns around and says that piece, "It's time for you to die now." He then steps towards you, Grinner, reaches back, pulls out a knife from his belt, and then just comes forward and tries to stab you in the chest. Grinner, does a 14 hit you? I don't think it does.
That's my armor class.
Then it does just hit you,
Then it does.
unfortunately. Sorry, buddy. That's going to be 7 points of piercing damage. As the dagger stabs into your chest, you feel it scrape against 2 of your ribs. And as he pulls it out, he goes, another! And then stabs you again.
Oh, cheeky bastard.
Grinner does a... No, 12 doesn't hit you. That's okay. Not as bad. Wow, I'm rolling not so great for him either. As he stabs forward a second time, you just knock his hand out of the way, pushing the dagger free.
Tell me it went into the exact same hole as the last one and did no additional damage.
That's kind of funny. Another! As he does so and pulls back, you can see that he only has one hand. He's doing this with his right hand. His left hand is just this bloody stump, slowly dripping black ichor. At the end of his turn, you watch as he holds his hand up, holds the dagger up, which is covered in your blood, as he brings the dagger closer to his hand, the blood begins to pull off it and slowly form this like skeletal hand made of blood on the missing stump. Ah, that's better. Now I can strangle you. And then he holds both hands out. Killian, it is your turn.
That is a trick that I need to learn. I'm just gonna take a step forward.
It will cost you your life.
I'll just take yours instead, and I'll swirl out the blood around me to like globules circle around, and I'll just flick both of them towards him and cast Eldritch Blast.
Brilliant. Let's see that Eldritch Blast, hey?
First is a 21 to hit.
21. Roll me some damage.
And a 17 to hit.
17 definitely hits. Roll me 2 sets of damage.
Come on. Here we go. That is 11 points of forest damage.
Brilliant.
And 11 points of force damage.
Nice and consistent. That's brilliant. As these 2 beams of this dark, red, blood-like energy fire out from your hand and strike into him. The first one shatters through this new skeleton hand that he'd just created, and you watch as the whole upper arm breaks and bends back the wrong way. As he looks down in surprise, the second beam hits him in the chest, and you watch as his ribs cave in, leaving this indented section of his chest. You watch as he... Good shot! Not good enough, though! Anything else you want to say, Killian?
That's it.
Tifla, it is your turn.
I'm just as a heads up.
What was that, sorry?
This shit's fucked.
Yes. Yeah. It's the technical term for what's happening here.
Tifla's going to take a couple of steps to the side just to get a better line of sight. And she's going to pull up her bow and take 2 shots.
Brilliant.
With the first one. That's a 26 to hit.
26, that'll definitely hit.
Cool. So then we've got Hex on that, and Jacob will infuse.
And you've got Hunter's Mark too, don't forget.
Yep. Lovely. So that's a 6 off the actual damage. That is another 3 off the infuse, and then
that's cold damage from your Drake, isn't it?
Correct.
Brilliant.
And then Hunter's Mark is 6.
D6. Oh, very nice. 6 on a D6. That's a total of 15 points of damage. Very nice, Tifla.
Lovely. And now she's going to take a second shot.
Brilliant.
Great. With that's a 28 to hit.
28's going to hit.
Baby!
Some brutal damage.
I just rolled a 1 on that, so that's 5. That's not as good. And then the Hunter's Mark is another 3.
3 points of damage. As these 2 arrows almost directly into where his heart would be, Tifla. This should have felled him. If he was any normal man, he would have dropped instantly. I mean, this is expert marksmanship from you, Tifla.
I know.
Yeah, the 2 arrows. I like how I speak as your subconscious is when I sort of talk to the characters. So yeah, Tifla, I mean, this was expert marksmanship. It's like the narrator in Baldur's Gate 3. You know that your shots hit true, yet the man still stands there, mocking you, his tone seemingly unaffected by your brutal display of power. As the arrows...
Good narrator impersonation.
Accurate.
Thank you. Thank you very much.
Yeah, that was really good.
That's what I'm here to do. As the arrows directly into the chest, he stumbles back a little bit. Oh! As he looks up. Pulls one of the arrows free. Vomits up a bit of black blood, drops the arrow between his fingers, stumbles forward a little bit towards Grinner. That really hurt. Looks like that really hurt.
Nice. Jacob, can you help get him?
Yep, perfect.
And then that'll be the end of Tifla's turn, and then Jacob will run over.
Tifla, the parasite behind your eye squirms in recognition.
Nope. So Jacob's going to get over there, get on the other side of the Baron, and he's going to take a bite.
As your shots strike true, you feel powerful.
Natural
feel
one, baby!
Authority. Natural one. You don't feel authority. You must rest before you use your illithid powers again. As the Drake just fails to do anything. Just bites down on empty air. Actually, I'd say that as Vargas sort of stumbles forward, he kicks a chair. The Drake ducks underneath the chair and gets tangled up in the legs before coming like to a stand again once, like right in front of it, but without any like sort of time left to quickly bite down.
Cool. Thanks for embarrassing
Perfect.
Jacob in front
You're
of
welcome.
everyone.
Victor.
So rude.
Victor turns towards Theodore. Trust me, I have a plan. And he steps towards the door, throws the door open, and lets out this piercing whistle. Like, as he steps back to the side, you watch as a whole bunch of undead cats made of bones begin to rush into the room and head straight for his father. Unexpectedly, they don't attack him. Instead, they take up positions surrounding him, their claws reaching down and marking the wood beneath him with symbols you don't recognize.
Oh, fuck.
Victor smiles, gives a thumbs up to you guys, and then rushes into the room. Jonah, you said that you held your action in case it looked like Victor was going to do something.
If he was going to cast teleportation, I was gonna stop that one. That was the plan.
I'm gonna correct your held action just because. Actually, make me an Arcana check. Sorry, I take that back. Make me an Arcana check. 12. Jonah, it definitely looks like Victor's about to cast some sort of magic, but whatever it is, you're not quite sure how it's going to work. I mean, your understanding of casting circle of teleportation requires you to cast it on a spot with runes for a whole year. But if he's going to do teleportation on his father right now, the cats have just started carving this magic circle now. You don't know what this is that he's about to try and do. It could be teleportation, it might not be.
I see the cat scratching in the ground. It's like he's thinking to himself, those claws just are not fine enough to get the right shape, and that L is the wrong way around.
It's not great. As you look at the arcane runes.
Seeing Theodore try to be like, no, you shouldn't do anything, I reckon he's primed to whack whatever he's doing in the head with a counterspell.
Okay, you're going to counterspell Victor. Okay, Jonah, I'm going to get you to roll me a D100, please.
Okie dokie.
As he's rolling disintegrate made.
17? Oh, yeah. You watch as Victor gives you a thumbs up. Jonah goes, I've got this! And presses his hand against the wall. There's a sudden flash of light, and you watch as Victor slowly starts rising into the air. He lets out a scream and vanishes. And disappears.
Wait, did he disintegrate? Or did he disappear?
Don't know. As Jonah counterspells, you watch as he just like rises into the air, and then in this flash of light and a scream, he puffs away.
And the Baron's still there?
The Baron's still standing there. As he turns around and watches his son go, he goes, I told him he was shit at magic. Look what he's done now.
Really
I'm going to have to raise him as a zombie.
Well, at least that's one less to deal with.
No, we don't have to kill him ourselves. That's good.
That's the end of it's the end of Victor's turn. Luther.
I think that's the end of Victor. Full stop.
Yeah.
I'm gonna say
being victim.
as this happens, you watch as the Lady Valakovich, she watches her son, for all intents and purposes, vanish into nothingness. Something snaps within her. Suddenly, this paralysis that you've seen before, this look of fear, a dark furrow crosses her brow as her eyes suddenly, which had been unfocused the whole time you've seen her, suddenly focus once again. No! My son! No! She slowly bends down and picks up the dagger off the ground that Vargas had dropped earlier. And as she turns back towards her husband, You're a monster! You're a monster! I'm going to say that I will roll her for initiative because that kind of would have been... I didn't roll her for initiative because she was essentially paralyzed by fear. Yeah, okay, she would have gone sooner. Luther, as you are about to take your turn, I'm going to say you and the Lady Valakovich are going to act on the same turn. So what are you planning to do?
Look, everything that's went down, like with him disappearing, I don't really know what to do, so I'm just going to pull out a pistol and shoot the Baron, because there's nothing really else for me to do. So yeah, I'm just going to pull out my pistol, and yeah, shoot the Baron. So if she wants to do anything, she's more than welcome to.
No, as you take your shots, because a bullet's going to move faster than a woman running, so please feel free to take your shots.
And 25.
We'll have her... Yep, 28, 25 both hit the Baron. As
7
your
and
shots,
11 piercing, so 18.
Brilliant. As your shots ring out, the Baron Vargas Valakovich takes these 2 bullets directly to the chest. Actually, maybe even the 28, directly to the forehead as his head snaps back. This bullet striking through the center of his skull, and his head dips forward again. He sort of reaches up, tries to touch it. His arm's no longer moving correctly. What? Tickles! What have you done? And then as he turns, you watch as the Lady Valakovich screams, "Our son!" Dives forwards with the dagger and slams it into his chest. As she steps over one of the skeletal cats. Actually, the second that spell goes off with Victor, all of the cats would turn to bones, just fall apart. Sorry, I did forget to mention that at the time. You watch as all of the cats just tumble apart into bones.
Now the room's dirty.
As the Lady Valakovich strikes forward with the dagger and slams it into his chest. For the first time, the smile on the Baron's face cracks. "My love? What are you?" And then you watch as she twists the dagger in place. "What are you doing? I can just bring him back. I can do anything." She twists the dagger further, screaming, holding close and pulling against whatever inside of him is keeping this person going. Something within him breaks. Jonor, it is your go.
All right, well, with that, he's going to walk up towards the Baron, get within 15 feet. He reaches up, he gets his hand, and he pulls it from inside his cloak. A flame starts to erupt on top of it, and he looks down at the Baron. Everyone step aside, and he just hurls it straight down at him. That's a firebolt.
Brilliant.
Oh, is it so nervous? He said, "Fire," and
14.
Which one will it be?
Is just a hit. 15 fire damage. Jonor, how do you want to do this? That's enough.
That's not bad.
That's enough.
I reckon that's gonna. He's just pelleted this down. It's like a baseball, and someone on the ground. He's just laying into someone. I reckon it explodes out from the center of his gut and pops outwards from there.
Something about the Baron, whatever he is, Jonor, you get the sense he must be some form of undead. And you know that some undead fear fire and radiant damage. You know that fire and radiant damage can often deal quite heavy damage, some damage that can't be regenerated to undead. That burst of fire that slams into his chest and stomach catches a light. That dark black ichorous blood almost acts like oil, a fuel for the fire. The flame burns in his chest, hollowing out his insides rapidly, his ribs glowing with this orange light as it moves up his chest. He looks down in fear, the dagger glowing red hot as this flame engulfs him, and the Lady Valakovich having to let go and step back. As his eyes turn towards you, Jonor, that smile comes back to his face one more time. Smiles go for... And the fireball engulfs him. As the flames die down, the sudden flash of light, blinding you momentarily, a charred, smoking stain is all that is left of the Baron Vargas Valakovich. And I'm going to take you all out of initiative at that point. You watch as the Lady Valakovich collapses to the ground, sobbing, looking over in the direction where she saw her son vanish the magic he tried to activate, in her mind, somehow backfiring and taking him with her.
Can I go investigate what he pressed on the wall to try and activate that spell?
Yeah, of course. Do you want to make me an Arcana check, please, Theo?
Not really, but I will.
I mean, if you 16. Theo, as you look, you can see that the teleportation circle that Victor had been working on, it looks like he had actually made a few more adjustments since he last spoke with you. There's a few extra runes that you don't recognize. There seems to have been some changes. And clearly, whatever he was doing, it looks like he was trying to link this teleportation circle with the ground where his father was standing. There was some attempt there to mirror the magic. It was already unstable. I mean, as you look at this, you're no mage, you're no wizard, your druidic magic works very differently, but from what you've already learned and from what Jonor had said previously, this looks like it had a very low chance of success anyway. Something wild was going to happen here when he activated this. Jonor's counterspell, I'd say that, I mean, you probably would have seen Jonor snap his fingers and hold his hand out to prevent this.
Nope.
No. Okay, cool. You don't see that. And then you've got no idea what happened.
No, I do.
Dude fucked
That
up.
was my impersonation of Jonor.
Jonor going, nope.
Oh, God.
Yeah. I mean, whatever Jonor did, this magic is already so wild, so untamed, it had nowhere to go. And so it backfired on Victor. All that is left of him are a pair of boots sitting in the middle of the floor where he was hovering above, slowly smoking.
Are they nice boots?
They are nice boots. Yeah, they're quite nice boots. I mean, his father's the mayor of the town. The boots are very nice.
Not going to fit your goat feet, though.
No, you've got cloven hooves, mate. You're a satyr. You have to get them taken in a bit. You have to remove the toes to start with.
Well, then, yeah, in that case, the boots hold no interest to me. I have another quick look around. Does he have any more books and stuff that he's got now that Jonor and I didn't take off him?
As you have a quick look around, no, I mean, loads of books, huge numbers of books, but as you look through them, then they don't seem to be books specifically on how to cast spells. There's no how-to guides here. It's all more on the theory of magic itself. There's a number of books that talk about the different schools of magic, one that focuses on transmutation, but more explaining it in a philosophical sense rather than a practical sense. You don't get the idea. Looking through this stuff, if he had any other material with him, it was with him when Jonor caused this spell to backfire, and it is now wherever he is. If there was anything left.
So you said he pressed something on the wall.
Yeah. As you look towards the wall, you can see there is what looks to be a crystal embedded in a sigil of runes that very closely match the teleportation circle on the ground. An activation sequence, essentially. I think Jonor pointed the activation sequence to you previously.
Alright, well, I trot back in.
Yeah.
I'm very sorry, madam. But your son, he died to try and to stop your husband. But your husband's magic was too dark and too powerful for him.
Why? Why did it have to be Victor? As she kneels on the ground, almost not really hearing you, Theodore. The dagger still smoking on the ground in front of her after glowing red hot from the Baron Vargas catching fire.
Can I gently help her up and over to the couch that I landed on?
Yeah, absolutely. As you slowly help her to her feet and place her on the couch, her eyes once again have that glazed look that you saw previously, the look of a woman who is miles away. Wherever her conscious mind is, it has fled, leaving just this shell.
Oh, smiles do go for miles.
Smiles go for miles, as the Baron says.
How's the captain, Tifla?
She's okay. She'll be fine.
Right, I'm gonna just go out to the landing and look down the stairs and see what Amelia's up to.
As you look down the stairs, Amelia's not there. You're not sure where she is. because Titha and Killian moved her over into the lounge room and put her on a couch somewhere safe. But yeah, as you look down the stairs, Luther, she's not there. There's a blood stain where she was lying, and drag marks leading away from the landing. Hopefully something hasn't happened to her.
Jonah walks over to that black dagger. Bit of hesitation touching things, which causes mine to hurt. This time he's not going to grab it when he does an inspection, but he's going to cast Identify looking at it. This is a really weird black knife. Everyone just leave it here for a second. I just want to figure out what this is. And I'm going to cast Identify.
Yeah, as you cast Identify on the Baron's blade, Jonor, this is an enchanted weapon. It is a +1 dagger. It deals an additional, on top of its normal damage, it also deals an additional 1d4 necrotic damage.
Does it have any bad vibes to it?
I was going to get to that. The dagger's also cursed. I was going to wait for a second for you to be like, oh, sweet. Because I know normally when I describe good magic items, you're like, neat.
Fingers on.
The dagger is also cursed. The person who wields it, whenever they deal that necrotic damage to an enemy, they also have to roll a d20, and if they fail that roll, that is a DC 12, they also deal that damage to themselves as the dagger consumes part of their life force.
Yikes. Oh, boys. This knife is quite a bad time. I'd suggest not touching it. Firmly in the infernal hell bin, if we can do it. That'd be great.
Just quickly, Grinner at the top of the stairs, seeing bloody drag marks away from where Amelia was. He's just going to mutter to himself, oh, fuck me, I'm too fucking hurt for this. And he's going to start running down the stairs.
Oh, wait, Grinner, we moved her.
Hey, what?
We put her somewhere safe. We're not idiots. We didn't just leave her in the doorway.
Oh, fuck. Oh, really, are you right down there?
You hear it from the other room.
Yeah, nice. Turn around and limp my way back into the junk room.
Wait, was that the blood owl that said that, or was that Amelia?
Well, it sounded like a woman.
Okay.
Does the blood owl sound like a woman?
I don't know. I've never spoken to a blood owl before. I don't know if it was like a blood owl made of blood, or if it was like a blood owl, like the type of owl that is a blood owl made of blood, though. So it's like a blood owl.
The
or if
owl
it was just
on
regular
Killian's shoulder
blood.
hoots softly.
Oh, it's over there.
Oh.
Oh yes, when the fight ended, I brought it back to me. Amelia is fine, in pain, but fine.
Yeah, aren't we all right?
No.
Well,
no, I'm perfectly fine.
Yeah, I'm good.
Oh,
I don't live my life in a constant state of pain. Having to find any way to try and suppress it and repress any feelings or emotions. Trying to avoid any connectivity with people that I spend my time with.
Just waiting for you to say, oh, love, you got to try alcohol to numb the pain. That's how I'd be doing it. Drugs too.
Absolutely ignoring anything that Tiff was saying right now. Grin is looking for like a rag that he can shove into his stab wound.
You just tear off part of the dust covering of the couch, Grinner, which shakes some dust free and then starts jabbing it into the stab wound in your chest.
Do that for you? Oh.
Just one finger, just.
Oh god.
Oh fuck, that hurts. That'll fix it right up. All right.
Titha, you watch as a small piece of lint falls out of the edge of this torn bit of fabric from inside his wound.
Well, there are worse things.
Yeah,
a small cockroach crawls out quickly too. No, that doesn't happen.
Well, hell, bacteria.
What are you doing in there, Theo?
You just caught a stray there for nothing.
All right, that's all Grinner's up to, just trying to look after himself a little bit.
Perfect. What would you guys like to do? The wife of Baron Vargas Valakovich is still sitting semi-comatose on the couch, looking very much worse for wear. However bad she looked before, the loss of her son seems to have broken something deep within her, something that up until this point maybe she'd just been holding on to.
So that kid's definitely dead, then, Joan, or someone.
Let's treat it sensitively.
So the Victor, he is vaporized? Like...
So he did just get teleported somewhere, and Grinner's gonna wink.
Oh, nice.
Does it look like he just teleported? Is that our genuine interpretation of it?
Jonah, would you like to make me an Arcana check, please?
Yeah.
13. I mean, it could have been a teleportation effect. The sudden surge of magic was so strong, though, Jonah. I mean, really, he could have been sent anywhere, and not all in one piece.
Oh. Why?
Grinner, yeah, it's. I lean in towards him. Yeah, he's gone.
Oh, right. Okay, so there's a very good chance that he teleported himself out of Barovia, and he is safe now, forever.
I keep on nodding.
No more pain for him?
No more pain ever again for that lad.
Are we near the mother when we're...
Yeah, she's sitting on a couch not 5 feet from you guys. I think Grinner said he was sitting on the couch next to her after putting her on it. Like, you could not be closer to her. Right now.
How did she react when they were talking
She
about
doesn't.
like, the teleportation?
She just doesn't. She
catatonic.
just sits there, catatonic.
Look, I'm going to try my best to console her. I'm going to go up and I'm going to give her my personal amulet to... I always get confused if it's Lysander or
Lysander.
Look,
in the Forgotten Realms, it's Lysander. In the Stay of the Homebrew world, Lysander.
I sort of kneel down next to her, like, look, any gesture at this point won't mean much to you, but by all means, I'll try my best, and I give her, like I said, my personal. Let this maybe be a beacon in the darkness for you to help you, in your life moving forward.
She doesn't move or react as far as you can see.
I'll just
take her hand.
I'll take her hand. I'll put the amulet in. I'll clasp her hand around it, and I'll just leave her be. I'm not gonna. Yeah, I've given her a gesture. I know it's pretty hard, obviously dealing with what she's just had to deal with. So I'm gonna let her have her space. And
could you roll me, Luther? Just a flat wisdom check, please.
Oh, all right, I'll just do a d20 then, and plus 1.
Just a flat wisdom check.
7.
7. As you hand over the amulet and close her hand around it and begin to move away, there's a sudden feeling of warmth. Distant. The warmth of the sun. Just for a moment, and then it fades away.
Okay.
That's what you feel.
Interesting.
Yeah, a sudden moment of the warmth of the sun shining across you, basking you in its glow, and then it fades away. But distant.
I'll probably take that as an indication that Lysander will potentially look over her.
Not to be insensitive, but we were in the middle of a coup. We should probably go check on our candidate and make sure the townspeople are not dead.
Well, I think you make a really good point with that, actually, Theo. And I think this is something that there's a point I want to make, but I don't want to make it in front of this one.
Well, how about we go downstairs and talk instead?
No, for fuck's sake. Yeah, let's all just go downstairs for a minute and leave the lady here for a sec, because let's just say this isn't the first time I've been involved in an uprising, and well, there's a thought that I've had. Let's go out of earshot for a moment.
So again, as you say, you don't need to say it in front of the lady. Tithla knowingly nods and steps back.
Yeah, fuck. All right, I'm just going to pick Tithla up by the head.
By the head? That's so much worse. You just wrap your hands around her goblin skull and just lift her up.
Yahoo!
Yahoo! It's not Mario. Fucking hell. Grinner's not a Yoshi. You can't ride him. Blang.
Just going to bring Tithla along like a little handbag.
I was going to do the exact same if you didn't, actually. That was exactly my idea.
Great minds.
Love.
As the six of you begin heading out onto the landing and begin moving down the stairs, from the sitting room where you had stashed Amelia, you hear a, are you guys there? Oh, fuck.
Yeah.
I can't come out to you.
Oh.
Get the fuck in here.
Yeah.
Okay.
All right.
As you move into the room, you can see Sergeant Amelia is slowly pushed herself up into a somewhat seated position. The wound in her gut mostly covered with bandages, but a number of bruises starting to blossom across her face and upper arms. The broken arm from where the shield had been shattered still hangs uselessly at her side. You can see that she it looks like she's attempted to kind of like press it up against herself, but hasn't been able to. The Baron? Did you get him?
Yes.
He is dead?
She spits on the ground. Good fucking riddance. Are the others okay? Victor and his mum.
Yeah, 50-50 on that one.
The mother is fine, a bit shooken up. Victor got exactly as he wanted.
Fuck, I promised that boy I'd get him out of this.
He got himself out of it?
You kind of did, in a way.
Explain?
Well, you know, he's doing all that telly... What's it called? Jonah, what's the fuck's that called?
Yeah, that's teleportation.
No, I knew he was practicing magic. I didn't know what magic he was doing.
What was
Is that hard magic to do?
Extremely.
Yeah, I'd say it's fairly sophisticated.
And he fucked it up?
Yep.
Possibly?
Make your deception check, Jonor. That's a lie. You counterspelled him. Nice try.
Deception.
5.
Oh, no.
Jonor goes, no. Yeah, he fucked it up.
I didn't help him fuck it up, I swear.
Can you do your best, like, voice break? Yep, please, Tom.
Yeah.
Oh, that was good. That was good. That was a 5 worthy. She just gives you a side eye. But, alright, fuck. But the Baron's gone. We did it. The vampire? You dealt with it?
Yeah, that's dead too.
So dead?
Can I just say, deputizing you fuckers was probably one of the better ideas I've had.
Yeah, you're welcome.
Yeah.
Thank you. Actually, thank you. What about the others? Do we know what happened with Ismark?
Well,
The rest of the...
we don't actually. We should probably go to the church and find out.
This is our next stop.
Last I saw, he was leading a number of the villagers through. He was pushing through the town, staying at the back, trying to direct them towards the church. I hope he's okay. His sister, Arena, she's pretty good with a bow. She coughs up a bit more blood.
You should see Ismark with a sword. I've seen him skewer an oven.
I did. I saw him cut a wolf in half.
That's actually pretty badass.
It seems harder than skewering an oven. She gives you a bit of a...
It was a tough oven.
You've not seen the oven, yes.
I'll take your word for it.
Please do. You don't want to see that oven.
What about Trevor?
Never
The other
see
guardsman
the oven.
that was with us. Have you seen him? I know that the Baron hurt him. Is he okay?
He kept the Baron away from everyone for a good long while. He died a hero, that one.
Shit, I'm gonna have to tell his wife.
Well, you might not have to worry about that. There was a lot of screams in town.
Yeah, that makes me feel better. Thanks, Grinner.
Well, just hit out.
Yeah, appreciate it. Great. Well, if you lot go see about Ismark, I think I'm pretty good to walk. Have you got something I could use as a crutch? I'm gonna try and make my way back to the guardhouse, see if there's any of us left.
I'll take you back to the guardhouse.
You sure?
Yes, I do not want to leave you on your own and risk you
Oh, it's
falling
okay.
over and
It's okay. You
opening
can just have
wounds.
my quarterstaff. Don't worry. You can stay with us. We need you.
Well,
Okay, to Killian or Amelia?
it's not that out of the way to go via the church. Yeah, okay.
Stay with us.
Okay, it's not... Yeah, sure. It's not that far.
You're the leader of the town guard now, love. You gotta be
And not to mention, you yourself are a hero of Vallaki, so you better get used to that title.
Let's make sure there's enough of Vallaki left before we start celebrating, all right? I need to know that.
Does she seem like she's still wounded, or like her wounds are better, but she's still very tender from it? So
it looks like she was really badly hurt. Tithla has done her best to heal some of these wounds, as has Killian. Killian has also helped sort of bandage and cover the wounds. Now it's a combination of the wounds that they weren't able to heal, combined with the fatigue of whatever she's been through. Her body is probably in shock at this stage, given what she's been through. I mean, she had her abdomen split open before Tithla healed it. So, yeah.
Yeah, just wondering if slapping other cure wounds into her is gonna be helpful or not.
If it looks like you're gonna do that, she refuses. No. You need to save that. There could be other people much more injured than I am. I'm fine. Thank you. You've done enough. Let's just get to the church, make sure everyone's okay. And then make sure that the guards are still around. At least some are left.
Well, while we're all here, I just have something that I wanted to bring up with regards to old love upstairs.
Yeah.
She is going to be perceived as his on his side, right? Like, there's no way around that. She's been with him for however long.
I can help with that. I think everyone knows what the Baron was like. Most of the townsfolk know who he was as a person. I think most people saw her and pitied her for having to be around him all the time. I can deal with that. We'll keep her here.
I might just suggest stationing a couple of guards to stop a lynching is all I'm thinking.
Yeah.
That is wise.
It's probably not a bad idea.
We should also inform people that in the end she was also a hero who helped stop the Baron. She knifed him pretty good.
She was?
That's true.
Yeah, she knifed him.
Wow, I didn't think she had it in her. I thought he'd broken her long ago. Good on her. Good. I'm pleased to hear that. It's sick to say that about another person, but I'm pleased to hear that she got a knife in. Good.
And this time,
Here you go.
sorry, Raph, go on.
No, I was going to say I'm going to help Amelia up, and that's it. You carry on.
Jonah's going to remember the black dagger in the attic. He's going to go back up there, grab a box or something, and just scoop the dagger into the box and take the box with him.
Your identify spell, Jonah, would tell you that you would need to attune to this item for the curse to activate, or use it. So the curse won't activate until you use it for the first time, or until you attune to it. So you can pick it up and hold it. That's not a problem.
That gets sleeved away where no one can see.
Perfect. The wife of Baron Vargas Vlakovic, Lady Vlakovic, hasn't moved from where you left her on the couch. At this point, you can see that her head has shifted a bit, and she's just looking towards the empty space where she last saw Victor.
I drop down to one just to kneel beside her, put an armor on her shoulder and speak in Celestial. The first hymn I can think of, or first like short prayer I would have learnt from Lysander, and just say that to her. Something along the lines of like, may the light warm your soul.
You watch Jonor as she clutches the amulet that Luther had given her, and a single tear rolls out of her eye, but no other reaction.
I gave her like a loving rub on the shoulder, tap on the little amulet she was given, and then walk downstairs.
Perfect.
As you walk downstairs, I'll quickly say to you in Celestial too, that was beautiful, Journal.
Oh, thank you. It's good to have someone appreciate some nice poetic words I can spit out sometimes.
I'm very well versed in all the teachings and verses, I guess, of Lysander. So, it was nicely done.
We can have a further book study later tonight if we've got some more time.
Bible study group.
I just had this image of Jonah coming down and being like, I spit radiant rhymes like an SMR with holy fire, doing this whole like the ASMR rap.
And the wings pop out like a really dramatic way.
I'm just picturing that Celestial as a language is just singing. So Luther and Jonah are just singing at each other.
I think in my mind, I kind of hear Celestial as more
like a priest.
Yeah, I don't know. I think. Yeah, I think in my mind I kind of heard Celestials more like like the older chant. Style chants, like a Gregorian chant. There's like like I don't know why Gregorian, but that's just what pops into my mind. Maybe because it's like of that old sort of Celtic Welsh style chant, but maybe that's more what Druidic would sound like spoken. I don't know. Maybe you're right.
I
maybe
pretty much all
more
the weird languages trend to that for me.
Spiritus
Abyssal,
Sanctus
Infernal, Celestial, Druidic. When in doubt, Gregorian.
When in doubt, Gregorian chants. Exactly. Actually, I think I kind of like the idea of like, "Hey, Dominus et Oe," as they speak to each other. Oh. Perfect. As Grinna helps Amelia to her feet, assisted by Killian, she leans heavily on the two of you. You two probably had the most to do with her, along with Luther. And as she leans heavily on your shoulders and you begin making your way back out into the street, you can see that the moon shining high above casts this pale, thin light across the village. No dark shapes cover the moon as you walk through the town. No barks or cries of wolves greet your ears. The town is eerily silent once again. Even the calls of alarm have faded. And for the first time, as you step out into the open air once more, even the clanging of the church bell seems to have stopped. As you make your way slowly through the streets, deserted, signs of the struggle appear sporadically. Sections where items have been knocked over, windows have been smashed in, the occasional body of a dead wolf lying on the ground, occasionally the body of a villager. As you check each one for signs of life, those who have been left behind appear to already be dead. Some of the men, some women, unfortunately a rather smaller shape down one alleyway that Grinna quickly has to turn his eyes from and try very hard not to think about. As you approach the church grounds, you can see light from inside, warm flame candlelight shining from the windows lining the long hall. The doors are closed, but as you approach and knock against the heavy wood iron knocker clanging loudly, echoing through the chamber, a susurrus of whispers and murmurs immediately dies down from inside. A voice, familiar to you, calls through the door. Who is it? State your name. As you hear Ismark call out from the other side of the door.
It is okay, Ismark. Everything is safe now.
Oh, thank the gods. As he pulls open the door, you hear this chunk as the lock latches and he opens the door, creaking on its hinges. As he looks out at all of you and sees Sergeant Amelia, a big smile breaks his face. It looks like he has taken a rather nasty blow on his lower calf of the left leg. Bite marks have torn through a section of the skin and flesh. His sword is currently held in his left hand. His right, it looks like two of his fingers have been broken and hastily splintered. Blood running down the side of his face from a rather nasty head gash. But still, even though these must be paining him, these injuries, the big smile as he sees you and the relief palpable across him as he sees you is, yeah.
We all probably look like him.
Yeah, you all look like shit. Actually, he says that. Wow, you guys look like shit.
So do you, my friend.
Yeah.
Oh, beat you to it.
But one thing you do not look is lesser.
Thanks. Is this all it takes to fuck you guys up? One measly vampire? Is that it?
And the horde of wolves and the undead baron.
Don't talk to me about wolves. I don't want to hear about wolves right now.
I don't want anything to do with these wolves either. It's the ferocious beasts.
Just so you know, that vampire brought friends. I don't think they were full vampires. They seemed much easier to kill than I was expecting, but there were 3 others, like that woman you described under the church in the Undercroft.
You killed 3 of them?
I killed 2 of them. The priest did something to the other, threw a flask of water on her and shouted some words, and she burst into flame. It was really cool. Water. Yeah.
Is your sister all right?
Irina? Yeah, she's okay. She got a few good shots off, but her bow got broken in the fight. She's pretty cut up about it. If any of you know how to repair weapons, she'd be pretty stoked.
I think I should be able to at least do a bit of a fix to get it going again.
Yeah,
sort of push fix.
Anything you can do, I think she'll be grateful. She loved that bow. Her father gave it to her, carved it himself from a rowan tree. Yeah.
I've never heard of. Is that a local tree?
Rowan? You've never heard of a rowan tree before? Do you not have them in your land?
No. I'm quite familiar with what trees we have. We have the green ones. We have the tall ones.
It's a green one, and it's a little bit tall.
But never at the same time.
Sorry, your land.
Right?
Yeah, 100%. Yeah.
I've shown you these trees many times. I explained to you all the trees of the woods. You've seen the rowan tree.
Which one was that?
I described the rowan tree. It's, greenish, tallish, leaves that look like this.
Greenish, tallish, not
Ismark
green.
just kind of
and
looks
tall.
between you, and Amelia essentially tugs on both Grinner and Killian's hair as she leans again. She goes, "Get me the fuck inside and sit me down. If I have to listen to these people talk about trees for one more second, I'm gonna bleed out on the doorstep. Okay?"
I'm gonna put Tifla down so that she can interact. Carrying it by the head the whole time.
There's no way you've been carrying her by the head the whole time. No.
Out like a lantern.
You've been helping Amelia walk. You and Killian between the 2 of you. You've not been also carrying Tifla. Tifla's been walking.
Tifla lantern.
Oh
I imagine Tifla has essentially like chicken bones, so she weighs almost nothing.
So you reckon
She's all head.
You can Tifla's like a bird. She's avian. She's got hollow honeycomb bones. Goblin. There you go. It's canon. Goblins and birds.
Yeah. That's the evolutionary path. Dinosaur, bird, goblin.
It goes dinosaur into 3 branches: kobold, goblin, bird. No, Tifla does not have hollow bones. No, you have not been carrying her this whole time.
No, you're no fun.
Yeah, I'm no fun. Shitting all over your fun.
Could we have it that Grenna's been holding Tifla like that, but the Drake's been underneath walking as well?
Clearly, this means a lot to you. Sure, why not?
This is the reward we want for beating the vampire. Portable
okay, great, sure, why not? That's what happens.
We take Amelia inside.
Thank goodness you guys have your priorities straight. Can you imagine if you were wasting your precious time on this conversation? As you step across the threshold into the church, into at least the entrance hall of the church, towards your right you can see townsfolk huddled inside the large antechamber where the religious ceremonies would take place. The pews have all been pushed against the walls, and people have laid out makeshift bedrolls and blankets to take care of the wounded. Rushing between various groups of people is Father Petrovich, the elderly priest. Assisting him is a familiar face, a surly teenage boy carrying a big bundle of bandages and what looks to be various salves and potions, just sort of walking behind, helping Father Petrovich with his duties. Not doing much with the healing, but sort of helping hold people down when they need to hold them down, handing out supplies, generally doing his best to assist, as you recognize Milivosh.
Father, greetings.
Father Petrovich looks up and goes, "Oh, you're alive. You look a bit injured. I'll get you in a moment."
No, we are quite all right. I was just wondering, do you know how many townsfolk were injured or slain today?
I have no idea how many were slain, injured. I've got at least 13, 14 in here that have grievous injuries. The rest I haven't had a chance to look at. They seem fairly minor. I've had to triage quite quickly. Tither, you've got some medical experience.
Yeah, I'm coming. Where do you need me?
Over in that far corner. I need you to start triaging people right now, please.
Oh, sorry, what?
I need you to find out how badly people are injured, and if they're dying, come get me. If they're going to live for a couple of hours at least, don't rush. If they're going to live for a couple of days, give them a kiss on the forehead and tell them that they'll be fine, okay?
Okay, that seems a bit weird.
You don't have to actually. I don't have to actually kiss them. It's an expression. They're fine. Just give them a pat on the back and tell them they're okay.
You know, you do what you do. I'm gonna go and help them over there.
Great. Thank you, Titha.
Do I see Gunther Arasek around?
Yes, as you look over towards the far wall, Gunther is nursing a broken arm and looks very dazed and confused. On his lap, he has a cat that is purring softly.
Mr. Arasek?
Oh. So I've got to get the voice right. What is it? We look like a bunch of assholes. There we go, I've got the voice. I just have to quote Formula 1, Gunther Steiner, and then I'm good to go. There we go, I've got the voice now. Oh, that is solid now. I got it. Yes.
Now that you are talking correctly, I think
I don't have words either. That was fucked.
No,
what the fuck was that?
This was pretty fucking wild. I think everyone that survived could use something of a party to remember those that were lost, celebrate the future that will be, and lift the spirits. So I was wondering how much and how long would it take you to flood this town with booze?
Not too long. I can put an order into the Wizard of Wines. They provide us with most of our alcohol, but I don't have lots of stock with me right now, and I have no idea what the state of the stockyard is. Could be completely destroyed. I don't know. I ran out of here with my wife. I don't know. I have no idea. If you're heading in a sort of west or in a southerly, west or southerly direction, and you wanted to pass by the Wizard of Wines, let them know that I want to put an order in. That would be great. I will be sending a message there anyway.
Is the Wizard of Wines towards the town of Kresk?
Yeah, it's not too far out of the way. That is, you'd almost be heading past it if you're heading in that direction. It is a large vineyard.
Then yeah, so I can do this for you. I just think the town could use a revel.
I think that is a good idea. Maybe when they have had a chance to grieve first, then a chance to remember, then a chance to forget. And
yeah, perhaps an actual party instead of these weird festivals the former Baron.
I tell you right now, if Ismark is going to be taking over, there is a festival ban. I will not be allowing any more festivals to take place in this town ever again.
Not even a nice festival where you could sell wares?
We will have a festival of a quiet night in where everyone goes home, has a few drinks, reads a book, and goes to bed.
Yes, I mean, this doesn't sound towards the party spirits, but
I certainly no more burning people at stakes. That was just fuck.
Look, I'm from the Fae Realms, and even there, that would be considered a bit wild.
I don't know much about the Fae Realms. Is that a place where people do sorts of crazy shit?
By and large, yes. But usually the burning is, at least consensual.
He sort of watches, he pauses to try and unpack that statement and gives up. Yeah, and any place where the fairies are judging us tells me that we're probably on the wrong path.
Yes, this is pretty accurate. But yeah, so if you fill out the paperwork for me to take the Wizard of Wine, I'll happily.
You don't need paperwork. Just tell them that Gunther sent you. I'll give you some coin as a down payment and tell them to send as many barrels as they can. They know I'm good for it. I will always pay my debts. They know that I will pay my debts. There's no problem there. I'm not some kind of asshole who doesn't pay.
I can do this for you.
One other thing.
Yes?
Baron?
Oh,
dead?
Very dead.
Oh, thank the gods. Good. It makes me very happy to hear.
Yes, I think we'll keep that between people that need to know at the moment until Ismark needs to announce that.
I'm going to do this because I was going to wait until you'd finish. As you say that, Ismark stands up on the dais. Everyone! Baron Vargas is dead!
Yeah, there we go.
As this cry comes from the people.
Bloodless coup did not end up so bloodless, but we can start with some democracy and fair due process next time.
I just to jump out of the game real quick. If we're gonna get technical, he was undead, didn't have any blood.
Bloodless
Coup.
coup.
Hey, we never said Icarus coup, did
Yep.
we? No, we did not.
However,
Technicality for the win.
you guys bled a lot.
Yeah, that's
That doesn't
okay.
count.
What about the villagers who
Consensual.
died?
What about him?
They were
They bled out. Most of them.
that's the wolves' fault.
Well,
We
they
didn't cause the blood.
vampires got them, so presumably there was no blood spilled.
The wolves got them, so there was blood spilled, definitely.
Let's not get into.
Yeah, but that wasn't part of the coup, though. That was a vampire interruption.
Ooh.
That's
Yeah.
different.
Vampirus interruptus.
We went to it was an anti-vampire coup.
Yeah.
Okay, fair.
I think we won.
I think you can celebrate the bloodless coup then in that case.
We just
Go back
won
and
D&D.
edit that
You
that
watch
video
you
title,
watch as your
not have the
journal
question mark.
updates. Quest complete bloodless coup in brackets. Changes from failed to complete. Oh man.
Or it was coup, and then the sub goal was
Yeah.
bloodless.
Yeah.
It changes from bloodful to bloodless. He watches
A
it
little
change.
achievement pops up in the corner.
It's the Steam overlay.
Don't be involved in someone's death one time in the campaign.
6.2% of players have this achievement. I should implement an achievement system for my D&D games. Fucking oath, I really should do that. That's hilarious. That's really
That's how I
funny.
get inspiration. Finding one of these secret achievements.
Yes.
Oh, that's
Oh,
kind
we've got
of
to
funny.
make that happen. That's
Do you know what I'm going to
actually
do?
amazing.
I'm going to have it as a point system so viewers can like submit achievements. They can spend points to submit achievements, and I'll have a list of all the achievements. And whenever anyone gets that achievement, like you will get an inspiration for hitting that achievement. That's brilliant. I don't think anyone's ever done this in D&D before, like for D&D.
Oh, yeah, look at it.
And writing it down, this is
Content
hilarious.
generation as we go.
So good. D&D. What should I call it? I'll call it D&D achievement system. I will have this in place for our next session because it's amazing.
Cool.
Oh my goodness. And yeah, if you happen to spend points and it turns out someone else has already submitted that before, I'll let you know and you can submit another one. So I'll make sure that there's only one achievement for each thing. Oh, that's brilliant. We'll do this as like a narrative cinematic experience. As the camera pans back, moving throughout the church, you see Tithla over by the group of newcomers, the latest arrivals to the church, sorting through, making sure that they are looked after, checking on wounds, doing a quick triage to see who's dying. Tithla, some of them look to be very grievously injured. You quickly call over Father Petrovich, and the two of you together begin dressing wounds and keeping these people from dying.
And I did a couple of medicine checks just to see how accurate /
14,
inaccurate.
23, 14. Pretty damn good,
Yep.
actually. Yeah, pretty damn good.
I'd like to help go once we've put Amelia down. I'd like to go over and help Tifla.
No, we want to pull through.
I don't think she was that badly injured.
Nice.
Put her to rest. Yes, she did get stabbed, and then go over and help.
Milivosh was the gravedigger. I mean, if you just ask him for help. No, I'd say, Killian, there's enough people that, like, you don't even need to necessarily be helping Tithla one-on-one. There's enough people injured that you can also be triaging at the same time. Do you want to roll me a medicine check as well, really quickly? I reckon this will be 8.
That's an 8.
That's okay. Hey, look, these are people who are dying. Something's better than nothing. I was going to say if it's below a 5, you make them worse, but 8 is just okay. As you go through, Killian, I mean, it's hard for you to know exactly how bad most of these injuries are. So you do often find yourself kind of like calling over to Father Petrovich or calling over to Tithla.
Does Tithla notice what's going on?
Yeah, so you notice. So Killian's pretty good at finding out who doesn't need immediate help, but there's 1 or 2 people he kind of skips over who Tithla, you're like, oh no, you need help, and like quickly rushes over and bandages. But the two of you working together, the two of you working as a team, absolutely begin
Awesome.
saving lives with Father Petrovich. Jonah, what would you be doing while we pan back out away from the church?
Taking notes of people of who's lost, who needs to be found, writing down names, where they think they
Nice.
are, and then doing the search group.
Taking an inventory of people. Yes, absolutely. I love that, Jonah. That's really, really good. Fantastic. Grinner, what would you be doing?
Grinner's gonna look down at his hands and they're shaking after everything. And I think he's going to excuse himself and go out into the graveyard proper and find himself a shovel and just start digging graves. Just busy work.
Yeah, absolutely. Luther, what would you be doing?
So I was thinking about this. I was actually going to help with the bandages, but I'm like, that's probably not a great idea considering that I've taken a bit of damage. So I think because there's so many injuries, so much blood in the church right now, I think I'm going to actually slip it out.
Luther, since you handed away your medallion, your holy symbol, and felt that sudden moment of warmth, your hunger seems to have faded completely.
Oh wow! Okay.
I was waiting for you to be exposed to blood to experience this, but your hunger is gone for the moment. Seems to have abated. It's like it normally is when you've recently fed on animal blood.
Well, regardless, I think everyone's got the fort held down pretty well. I'm going to use my abilities of spider climb to actually start going throughout the town and just start gathering any survivors and telling them all to just gather at the church for now. And even if I just bring some healthy people with me to start, just sort of getting a stock of any people that really need help out in the streets that have maybe got some wounds and they're in alleyways sort of like bleeding out. I can potentially save some lives doing that.
Yeah, absolutely. As you move through, you stumble upon a few others who were hiding in the nearby houses, some of whom were shacked up, like with doors bolted, others who are hiding in like gardens around the city, just trying to stay alive. You gather together these survivors and send them to the church. Over the course of a couple of hours, Luther, you manage to locate another 16, 17 people, all of whom are like slightly injured, so minor injuries to moderate injuries, and get them back to the church in one piece, potentially saving their lives.
Yep. If there are any that have grievous wounds, then I would 100% help them back to the church. Like I would personally help them.
And Theo, what would you be doing?
So just chatting with Gunther Arasek to tee up that party, and then realistically, I'll probably go actually talk to Ismark actually, and make sure he has everything he needs to make sure that this coup does properly go through there and we don't run into any mishaps. He seems to be doing a pretty great job being an actual leader and helping out, so I don't think he'll need much, but just lending my support there as a hero of Valaki to...
Perfect. I actually want to open with that conversation next session, because that, I think, is an interesting conversation to actually roleplay. So, we're going to open with that conversation at the beginning of the next session. For now, that is where we're going to wrap up for tonight. During the course of your time in the church, all of you may benefit from a long rest. Once you've finished taking care of people, you may benefit from a long rest. In addition, you may also all level up to level 6.
Hell yeah.
Nicely done, everybody. We will also go through at the beginning of the next session the cool new things that level 6 unlocks for each of you. We will go through those really quickly at the beginning of the next session, and we'll also kind of discuss from a roleplay side of things how you came across or how you've developed each of these skills a little bit further. But that's all for next week. For now, that is all. Thank you so much for joining us, everybody. I hope you enjoyed tonight's session of Curse of Strahd. If you're watching us live, don't go anywhere. We're going to go Red Corsair's Cove. For those of you listening to us recorded on YouTube, hit that subscribe button, the thumbs up button, leave a comment, share an RPG story with us. If you've played Curse of Strahd, tell us how things went down for you in Vallaki. What happened for you? If you haven't played Curse of Strahd, just share an RPG story. We love it. I used to like reading out RPG stories at the beginning of each session, but I've kind of let that slip a bit. I think because I stopped encouraging it. But please share a story from a game you've played, from a session you've had. Share a story and I'll read it out at the beginning of the next session. From all of us here tonight, though, thank you so much. It's been lovely having you on board for our session of Curse of Strahd. Avatar Legends Tuesday night, Return of the Giants Wednesday night, or Curse of Strahd next week. So until then, everybody, stay safe, stay well, and we will see you all again really soon. Goodbye, everybody. Bye!
Bye!
Bye! Bye!
Bye.